Alright, YouTube, we're going to bring you a recap of Garage Wars. We're going to start off with the infraction. Now, I do have another body for this car, but since with the cones is a lot more calmer, but you know, since we were hitting each other, I figured I'd just keep it with the old body. But let me get under the hood and show y'all what happened to it. It's still intact, but let me just show you what was the problems I was having during the day. Alright, so this car sat on the shelf, I believe, the whole last drag season. It's a drag car. I took the wheelie bar off of it. Mind you, I had to cut that for the wheelie bar to fit. So I took the wheelie bar off of it. I took the gearing that was on, the pinion that was on here, put a smaller one, and changed the tires. And boom, that's where we at with it. So now, my fan wasn't working for one, and I think I'm still overgeared. So I'm running a 2900 TP motor in here. So it's a lot of kV, so the gearing does play a big part. It's not like I'm doing one drag hit here. I'm going around in I'm doing 3 laps. So it does tend to heat up. I was able to do 2, and then I noticed it got too hot on the 3rd one. Normally the fan will take care of that, but what I'm going to try to do now is gear down more. Also, I need some tires. These tires did great. Those are the name, the GT Tarmac. Whatever the name is of it. But anyway, so as y'all know, it's already dialed in for drag racing. So when I pull full throttle, it should go dead straight. And that's, as long as I come out the turn straight, I can nail it. And it'll go dead straight every time. So it was a great car to do what we're doing on road in general. This is a great car. It worked for me in drag racing. Now it's working for me in the Garage Wars. But all I would have to do is change the tires back over and throw on the wheelie bar. I'll be ready for drag racing again. And I still got the drag body, but it's sat. We ain't got that much of a crowd up here for the big cars, so I put it to use in Garage Wars for now. And I'm happy I did because it was fun. I had a blast with this car. I'm talking about the corners. Everything was working great with this car. I see my back tire here is balling. I might flop them. I'm going to have to get some new tires, but I still have Hoons. I have GRPs. The S1s did great in there as well. I might try them. The car did well. It did great. But that was the only problem I was having. I think it's geared too high, and the fan wasn't working, so the motor was getting hot. Other than that, car did great. So I'm going to probably work on the fan. Probably one of these wires right here is broken. So I'm going to have to go through the fan. If not, I'm going to put another one up there. And I'll bring you another car I was running in Garage Wars and see what's wrong with that. But yeah, infraction. Good to go. It would be cool to have a bunch of these out, Limitless, 7 scale in general, but they're on-road cars. But it kept up with the Vendetta. I was giving that Vendetta work. Ask Marco. Alright, guys, let me get the other car. Alright, this is the Habayo Hyper 90. So, as y'all know the system already. This car does great. So, as y'all remember, I was having problems with the steering, right? So, I had this steering arm up there. And that was the hole it would go to. So, it was like, it would have to turn way too much for it to actually turn the tires. So, I put a different servo arm up there, and it's higher now. So, the car was turning great. It would have been perfect if I could have got this a little bit higher, because I still think I need just a little bit more turn. Because it's not the greatest on the turns. The car handles great. Ever since I got this car, that's why I kept it. But it handles great. This car handles phenomenal. I snapped the chassis on here and everything. I rebuilt this car many a times. But it was a dirt car, converted it to my drag car, and now I just keep it to do whatever. So if I wanted to bring this back to bashing, all I would do is loosen up my grub screws and throw on the dirt tires. It'll be ready. If I wanted to go on-road, I drop my grub screws to lower the car. Sitting up kind of high right now, but it sits about right there, which is pretty cool. But if I wanted to make it completely on-road, it would be like that. But since the suspension is soft, it has a little, when I hit the gas, it sit down like that. But yeah, so this did help. The servo arm did help, So that was a great thing. The tires was holding up, but I think I need more on the turns. I have to turn too wide so you could get in between me on the turns. But other than for bashing, it's great. But you know, for on road, I think I'm gonna need a better servo. It worked better with the arm up, but still need better turns. Oh, and this is what happened. If y'all seen in the video, I didn't let off, so I end up breaking that right there, and that's how the dog bone popped out. So I got that on order, and the car be back up and running. It was a hard hit, and I hit right here, if y'all can see. I hit right there hard. Bam! Alright, so we are going to get the Italian up here. So I was having issues with the Italian, but we'll get to that right now. Alright, YouTube, this is the Italian. So this is one of my Garage Wars bashes. This is an all-out contender. I love this Italian. It's like an extended truggy. But let me show y'all the issue I was having. So the other day, right, since I put these tires on, I had these hubs up higher. So I had to sand them down for them to not rub on the wheel. So what I did was I just dropped the hole. So now it clears no problems. And the camber was off a little bit. So as I was driving, the car was going like this. And I couldn't figure out why. So I must have did 2 races with it and said, you know what, it keeps fighting me. So I know y'all seen it in the video if you watched it, but I said it keeps fighting me, something's not right. So I came home, I went through the shocks, tried to make sure nothing was bent, and I'm just sitting here looking like, what could it be? And I broke right here. I'm not sure when I broke. It could be when I hit the wall that time. I wouldn't know, because that was my first time driving a car ever since it broke, but I need to get that. I have that on the Creighton upgraded, but I didn't upgrade it on here. I'll probably try another plastic one for now, and then I'll probably buy a Hot Racing or a GPM one. But yeah, that was the problem why the car was, see that? That's why the car kept going like that. So I'm glad I figured that out. I'll get this back up and running. I'll bring y'all 2 more cars and then we'll just wrap this video up. I know I'm still waiting on the shaft for the Creighton, so that's still down, and I'm still waiting on Exceed front CVD, which is still out of shock. So still got cars now. And the Losi, I didn't even bother to buy that part yet. Since it's discontinued, I might just fix it and put it right back on the shelf. You know, I'm not sure. I don't want to keep dismantling that car, but we will see, because it is a contender in the Garage Wars. I was the champion last year. It was a good runner last year, should I say. But let me get the RS4 up here, show y'all what I did with that, and then we'll go from there. Alright, YouTube, this is the RS4. I didn't even get to test it. So for one, so with the RS4, it comes with different blocks. It's like you can change them out to drift or do whatever. So I believe I had L4 on there. So that's like a degree. But right now I put 0 on both fronts. So everything is dead center. I was running it with the L4s for a few years. I had no issues. So I didn't even get to test it when we was at Garage Wars. But that's what had broke last time. Other than that, everything else is ready to go. Make sure the ESC is intact. Everything is ready. I even brought extra tires. So I have rubber tires I wanted to try. I'll show y'all. So I had these little rubber tires I wanted to try, just to see if it would hook up better than the foams in the garage, because we're using rubber tires on every other thing and it's hooking. So I just had to glue them. But anyway, that's with the RS4. It is back up and running. I know my boy Jared just put together his Fortec. Hopefully we could get him out, and we'll set up like for the little temp scares, we'll set up a little all-road course, do a little all-road racing instead of the whole Garage Wars. That'll be cool with these little cars. I'll show you another build I got just for that too. Alright, YouTube, I made a rally build. I'll show you how to underneath. So if y'all remember, I had this body on Pinky, which was the other RS4 I just showed y'all, and the front of the body was too low, so I ended up cutting it. But boy, how I wish I didn't cut that. Because now that it's on this car, look at the body. It's too far up in the front now. And I needed that. I'm not even sure if I can get another body like this, but let me show y'all the rally I built. I did some testing to it. We'll get to that. So, these are the shocks that came with them. I ended up borrowing some and using them on my street eliminator, but I put the stock ones on the front for now. And that's why it's sitting up so high. But I got droop screws to mess with it. But yeah, so yeah, this is my little drag car. I got a little 3.5 and I got the Mamba Monster in there. On 2S, this thing flies. And then I put the grippy tires on there to handle the indoor, even if it's sand or whatever we do in the Garage Wars. It was set up for that. But the problem is the rear diff is locked, which sucks for turns unless you're drifting. So the rear diff is locked, and then the front one is, I don't really know how to call it, but it's an open diff when it goes in forward, unless it gets the center diff, the center rod to move in the diff, then it would move both wheels forward at the same time. Right now I'm spinning them freely, but if I was to turn this, they'll both turn like that. So when you brake, it's like braking on a rear wheel drive car. It automatically spins out. And I don't got drag brake on here, which I think I should use. Alright, sorry about that, guys. So I want to shout out to Tim as well, Tim Amato from Dirty Den. He gave me this car. And I got a whole bunch, I got about 7, 8 RS4s, but this one is a little bit different. This is all carbon fibers. I even have the box for it. It's called a Pro 4 touring car by HPI. I don't even think I get parts for this, but I would like to get a front diff that's a regular differential for this car. Maybe even a rear. It would make it a much better car, even for drag racing. So, like I was saying, it's like a rear wheel drive car when you hit the brake, because this doesn't stop. Only the rear end stops. So it kind of spin around. I think drag brake might help with that, but I would like to just get regular diffs. But if not, I'll just keep it how it is and use it for like a run around or have some fun with it like that. Because it is a light car, so this I think would be faster than Pinky if I was to get. Right now it has plastic internals, and it didn't even come with this spur. It came with a smaller one, but you know, I made it work. So it's a nice little build. I took off the foam bumper so the body could fit, but we'll see if we got some use for this. It's got a little gyro there. I tried it. This gyro is like a drifting gyro, so this sucks. It's a Sky RC one, but anyway, sorry for the babbling. Just bringing y'all an update of Garage Wars. We still got a couple more cars we could bring out, but we want to fix up what we broke first, and then we'll try some new cars. But the Infraction, for one, is a good car for that. And Italian, I definitely got to get those two cars back up and running. They're my first two go-tos right there. But y'all stay tuned for my drag racing update. I was supposed to post that since last weekend. I was slacking. Sorry about that. So stay tuned for that, guys. And thanks for tuning in.